Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with the second video in the series Resigning in a Winning Position. This is the great Victor Korchnoi, who played the Belgian international master Geert van der Stricht in the European Team Championships 2003 on the 18th of October. It was the first board of the Switzerland versus Belgium match. And let's see what happened. Two incidents worth mentioning about this game. The first one is that Korchnoi received an exemption to write down the moves because he was suffering from arthritis in his hand. And it was an amusing sight to see Korchnoi make a reflex movement after every move to write it down, discovering each time that there was no score sheet next to the board. And another thing that happened is that during the game Van der Stricht was reprimanded by Korchnoi when he hovered his hand over a piece, double-checking the move before executing it. Korchnoi said, "Perhaps you should first think before you make a move." Van der Stricht might have been intimidated somewhat by this reaction, and it might have influenced what happened in the game. Let's look at the game. It was an English opening, and this is the position after 27, b6, b5. From Van der Stricht. Korchnoi is white, Van der Stricht is black. Position is equal. And Korchnoi is now trying to set up some sort of an attack against black's king. Queen g3, knight e8, bishop f4, knight ed6, queen h4. Korchnoi is trying to find the right setup for his pieces to harass the black king. Rook e8, queen h5, queen f6, rook g4. Of course, all four white pieces are pointed at the black king, but for the moment he is not going to break through. Rook e1 check, king g2, and rook back to e8. Bishop g3, rook g8. Black also is maneuvering, not sure how to make progress. And now Korchnoi thought he had a chance. Bishop e5 hitting the queen. Queen e6. And now played immediately and full of confidence. Korchnoi played rook g6. Thinking he had a winning mating attack here. Of course, both players were under time pressure at this stage. It's the 36th move, so they probably only had a few minutes left or even less. And maybe Van der Stricht was somewhat intimidated by the reputation of his opponent and about what happened earlier in the game. He checked a few variations, saw that he was going to be checkmated and resigned. What he must have seen is that f takes g6 doesn't work because of queen takes pawn checkmate. The g7 pawn is pinned to the bishop on e5. Moving the queen out of reach of the rook doesn't work either, because now either rook takes pawn or queen takes pawn is checkmate. Taking the rook doesn't work. For example, bishop takes, and now f takes doesn't work either because of, again, queen takes pawn checkmate. And if black takes on e5, then there is d takes e5. Then you can take the bishop. But after queen takes and, for example, knight e8, black does not have enough compensation for the queen. The only other move which he must have checked is knight takes e5, but he rejected that because of rook takes e6, taking the queen, knight takes d3, but then there is rook takes pawn check, and after g takes h6 there is queen takes pawn checkmate. This is why Van der Stricht resigned. But what he had overlooked, and what Korchnoi also had overlooked, was that in this position there is actually no checkmate, there is no queen takes h6, because white is in check. With black's last move, suddenly the rook on g8 is giving check to the king on g2. And white has to do something about that. And after king f1, there's simply rook g6, protecting against a checkmate, and now black is winning. We'll go back to that position in a second. First I want to show you something else, that after knight takes d3, let's say that Korchnoi had now seen that rook takes h6 is not leading to checkmate. Is there something else he could have done? But the problem is that there is a fork in the position. Black threatens knight f4 check, winning the queen. And also his rook on e6 is still hanging. There's no move with the rook to protect the f4 square. So white is going to lose his rook anyway. In fact, the best move here is rook takes h6. And after g takes, we're back in that position that white is in check. King f1, rook g6, and as I said, this is a winning position for black. If you just count the material, it doesn't look all that bad for white. The white queen, the white lone queen, has a very tough time against the three black pieces. I looked at this position with the engine, and the engine only gives random short queen moves for white. It doesn't see a plan to become active or to harass the black king, which is quite safe. And for black, it improves the position of the pieces, and with some knight maneuvers it starts to win pawns, and it's clear that black has a winning position here. We'll never know if Van der Schicht, the international master, would have been able to win this against the super grandmaster Viktor Korchnoi. But resigning was definitely not the right thing to do in the final position. Hope you found this position, this game, instructive and amusing. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please leave a comment if you want, and please subscribe to my channel. This is Rick from Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.